In this video, we'll take a look at polynomials. And so first of all, we'll start by asking what is a polynomial, right? So a polynomial is an expression that is the sum of a finite number of terms of the form ax to the n, where n is a whole number. So if you remember what a whole number was, whole numbers were numbers like 1, 2, 3, and 4 on, starting at 0. No negatives, no fractions. So what is a polynomial? What is not a polynomial, right? So example of polynomial, not a polynomial. So for example, 8x is a polynomial, but 8 over x is not a polynomial. 1/3 x minus 4 is a polynomial, but 3x squared plus 4x to the minus 1 is not a polynomial. 8 is a polynomial. And if you sit there going, how is 8 a polynomial? Remember that 8 can be thought of as 8x to the 0, and 0 is a whole number, because this is like 8 times 1, and we know that x to the 0 is 1. So 8 is a polynomial. Right? So those are polynomials. There are three kinds of polynomials that have special names, and those are monomials. Monomial. This is a one-term polynomial. So that's like 8x, 3x squared, can be negative of course, and so on. One term, one thing. And then there are binomials. That's a two-term polynomial. That's 8 plus x, x squared plus 5x, and so on. Two terms to it. And trinomial. A trinomial has three terms. Three-term polynomial. And they have three terms. So x squared plus 5x plus 6, x cubed plus 2x plus 7, and so on. Three terms. Beyond that, we just call them four-term polynomials, five-term polynomials, and so on. But these three you will hear people talk about. Next, there is this thing called degree. So there's two kinds of degrees. There's the degree of a term. Degree of a term. And this is the exponent. Degree of a term is the highest exponent of, no, it is not the highest, it is, degree of a term is the exponent of that term, or the sum of exponents of that term. Okay, so for example, 3x squared, its degree is 2, because that's the exponent. 4y to the third, its degree is 3 because that's what it is. But if you had more than one variable, so for example if you had 3x squared y to the 3, then the degree is equal to 5, which is the sum of exponents. Okay, 2 plus 3. There is two, as I said, there were two kinds of degrees. That's the first kind of degree. The second kind of degree is the degree of a polynomial, and the degree of a polynomial is the exponent is the highest degree of any given term, is the highest degree of all terms of the polynomial. So for example, degree of, say we have 3x squared plus 5x plus 9, right? So what are the polynomial exponents? So this one has an exponent of 2, this one has an exponent of 1, and this has an exponent of 0. So if we ask ourselves what is the highest number, 2, 1, or 0, then the degree of the polynomial, so this has a degree of 2, 1, 0, degree of the polynomial is 2. How about this one? 3x to the 7 plus 5x squared y to the 8th plus y to the 6th, right? So each one has different degrees. So this one here has a degree of 7. This one here has a degree of 10, 2 plus 8. This one has a degree of 6. So degree of the polynomial is 10, right? So the degree basically measures sort of the most powerful term in the polynomial. And so in this case, it's saying to us, in that first example, it's saying to us that 3x squared is the most powerful term in the polynomial. And in the second case, it's telling us that x squared y to the 8th is the most dominant powerful term in that polynomial, right? So the degree of a polynomial is 10, is the highest degree of each of the terms. And you can sort of compare polynomials also. So for example, the first and the second, if you compare them, the second one's higher degree, more powerful in a sense than that first one. Alright, it's the first of these polynomial videos. Take a look at more coming up.